Good evening and welcome back to the channel. This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, make your own decisions. All right, guys, so I just showed some recent updates in my community tab. These are recent. They include the drop down to 20K. I mentioned earlier today that if I had to guess, I would say that whale addresses with 10+ thousand Bitcoin were continuing to rise, and they are. All right, this could have changed in the last day or so, but that's where it was as of 2 days ago. So after the Bitcoin price dropped to 20K. Now, on top of this, the other category of Bitcoin holders that was the only one, when I did my video a couple weeks ago and I went through every category of Bitcoin holder, the one that was not net accumulating was the 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin addresses. And they added 70,000 Bitcoin to their positions in recent days. So let's just be very clear about what, guys, this is just data. That's all it is. It's just data. Let's just be very clear about what's happening right now. Whales are accumulating. They have been accumulating. Purpose ETF. All right, the global ETPs, the last I checked about 5 or 6 days ago, had added 5,000 or 6,000 Bitcoin. So, just be very clear. Whales are accumulating while they're dumping on retail, and they're continuing to use the leverage trading market to push the price of Bitcoin lower as they're accumulating, buying retail's crypto from them and scaring the shit out of retail. So that's what's going on. If you have real evidence, hard data to back up or to refute what I just said, please link it below. Guys, I told you last summer, the price was fake. And I explained in a general sense how they manipulate this market. And in all reality, there's not a whole lot of limitations on what they can do with this. So that's where we are. It's just important that people understand that. Now, why aren't any of these analysts that all they do is on-chain data and TA, why aren't any of them showing this? Why do I have to go searching for this? And guys, I search for this data every day, and it's not that easy to find. You would think that it would be, but it's not. And Twitter searches for this, sometimes I search the exact same words, right? Bitcoin whale addresses. Sometimes things pop up. Sometimes nothing pops up hours later. But the big analysts that all they do is charts, on-chain, TA, why aren't they showing this? You don't think this is important information to people to know? What would you say are the most important metrics that you would want to know at a time like this? Well, I would want to know what's happening with overall supply, and if more people were bringing Bitcoin back on exchanges than not. I would also want to know what the whales are doing. I would want to know if they were selling and if they were getting out of their positions or if they were accumulating. That's important information for people to know. But yet nobody's sharing these charts. Might be worth thinking about, right? Now, what people are sharing is a lot of fear, right? You should be very afraid. It's going to go to 17, and then it's going to go to 15. If it breaks 15, then it's going to go to 12, and if it breaks 12, then it's going to go 8. And this is the type of, they're very interested in hyperbole and being very emotional, right? They're not particularly interested in showing you the actual data for you to be able to decide for yourself what's going on. They're not very keen on that. Guys, I'm not one of these people that just comes out and shoots off my opinion left and right. I go find the data and say, this is what the data says. Make your own conclusions. This is my conclusion. And my conclusion is that whales are dumping on retail, forcing them out of the market, scaring the shit out of them while they buy up everything. So that's what the data says to me. Because I see whale addresses, 2 different categories of whale addresses going up, accumulating Bitcoin. I also see Purpose ETF accumulating Bitcoin while price is collapsing and supply is going down. Just think about that. Literally just think about that. At some point, it's Three Arrows. Maybe they've already been liquidated. Who knows? But at some point, if certain companies get liquidated or certain funds get liquidated, it would make sense that they have to sell their Bitcoin and Ethereum. The great part about this entire industry and blockchain in general is that we can see that happening. We can see that happening. So people can choose to be as concerned as they want to be. Just worthwhile to ask yourself, why are 10,000 plus addresses accumulating? Why are 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin addresses accumulating? It's just crazy. It's just guys, listen, for me, I don't care. When you hear me getting very like riled up and like this, it is because of the deception that is happening. It is because of the level of dishonesty. Like, if you want to come out and just, it's going, I'll always tell you it could go lower, but at least tell your viewers the whole picture. Tell your viewers whales are accumulating. Here is the data. Supply is continuing to go down. Here is the data. But they never focus on that. They never focus on that. Because people would start asking critical questions. People would start saying, wait a second, that doesn't actually make sense. But, you know, this is just, guys, there's never been a more important time in the world for you to learn, to educate yourself, because forget about what I say, forget about, you really should. You should forget about what all crypto content creators say. And you should learn to be able to analyze these situations for yourself. You should go seek out the data, and you should get as much information as you can to be able to critically analyze it. If you don't understand certain things, maybe if you don't understand the leverage trading market, if you don't understand how the leverage trading market and the spot market play off of each other, learn about it. Figure out how it works. It's not that complicated. I mean, I can explain it in a general sense. And I still have a million things to learn in this space. But, you know, I will say that over the last year, I've learned more in the last year than I've ever learned anything about my entire life. Not just about, you know, crypto, blockchain in this space, but just in general, the economy, the financial system, a lot of different things. But you should educate yourself to the point to where it doesn't matter what anybody says. You can see what's happening for yourself because you took the time to understand all of it. So that's all I have to say, guys. You know, I wish this was, I mean, in my opinion, this was relatively encouraging. Big hands are buying. Big surprise, right? Big surprise. Big hands are buying. So they're going to continue to dump on. How low is it going? Who knows? 14, 12, 10, 9, who knows? Who knows? As low as they want it to go. All right? That's how low it's going to go. As low as they want it to go. But I want you to really ask yourself this question. Do you think there's going to be this just like slow grind back up, and that all the people who are not in the market right now are just going to have this clear cut? Okay, yep, boom, that's the bottom. This is a great entry. Do you think it's going to play out like that? I don't. I think that whenever they move, they're going to move quick, because the goal is to get as many people out as possible, and primarily as many retail out as possible. And that's why there's all the propaganda. That's why nobody's going to share these charts with you. That's why they're just going to get, you know, they're going to have these crazy covers. Like, oh my God, it's all over. All right, but they're never going to tell you they're never going to tell you the data. They're never going to tell you the data. They're just going to give you their opinions on how scary everything is and how afraid you should be. All right. All right, that's it. That's all. Things are going to be okay. Things are going to be okay. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you next video.